Hey friends, in today's video, I am going to take you through the process of organizing our home library. Now, this was just like a random thing we decided, so I will have you know this is going to be likely over several days. So I will just kind of walk you through each step as I go through it. Right now, let me grab my list. I have briefly just kind of looked over our shelves and kind of made just some categories. So I have fiction and nonfiction, of course. And then under fiction, I have holidays, poems, picture books, and classics. Okay, and then under nonfiction, I have Bible, nature, geography, and biography. That is like my very basic, just skimming over. That's what I could kind of come up with on my own. Now I am in the point of making little post-it notes of each of those categories on my floor so that when I take everything off of the shelves, I hopefully will have a place to put them. If I do not have a place to put them, I will kind of create a spot and write that down as a category. So my thought here is color code based off of category. I do not want to get into numbering. I do not want to get into alphabetizing things. I'm not trying to do all that. I just want to color code it based off of category just to help us keep them organized in a very easy, manageable way. And so that if we are looking for something specific, we know at least a general area to go to. And then from there, we can skim through and find the book. For us, we have a lot of books, but for some, we really don't have that much. So our categories may be a little bit smaller because we haven't had years and years of building a homeschool library. I really honestly just started building it last year, but I have enough. I feel that we need to organize, and it's better to kind of get the system going now before we get 10 years down the road. And now I'm just overwhelmed with the amount of books that we have, although I am still feeling that a little bit. So before I take anything down, I'll kind of show you guys what we're working with. And then again, I'll just kind of take you through the process over the next several days. So this is what it looks like to begin with. I have talked before about these magazine organizers. I think I'm gonna leave those. That works really, really well for us. So what I use those for are pulling books from the library for each of the units coming up. And then actually down here, this stores some of our extra stuff, kind of like the stuff my daughter rotates through each week. So we have like handwriting in there, explode the code. We have like some writing prompt workbooks, just kind of some random things that she'll come and pick. But all of the other ones are, like I said, I know what units are coming up, at least the next 2 or 3. So I will go ahead and put books in there for those that I pull from our library as I come across them, or I know that they're there. That way I can kind of keep a tally of what we actually have for that unit, and you know what I need to get from the library, all of that stuff. So I will likely keep that system because I really like that. I may look into getting new magazine holders. I may not. I don't know. Those were free. They're kind of cute. It works. I may just leave them, but there is one that's broken, I think. And some of them don't always hold the books, as you can tell, like this one. But you know, that's like minor stuff. So this is the state of our book situation to start with. And so now I am just going to finish writing those sticky notes that I told you guys about, getting my categories kind of arranged here on the floor. And then I will start unpacking books, making stacks on the floor. We are making good progress so far. I have little one in here helping me kind of sort through them all and decide what she wants to get rid of, which I think is a pretty good stack considering, you know, considering everything that we've got and that a lot of this stuff we just kind of, you know, added last year. So this is the update. I'll be back. Okay, y'all, we're a couple days later. All of the books are all over the floor. You can see some here, and I haven't gotten to chapter books yet. I did get stickers in, so I grabbed these off Amazon. I will link them down below for you. I grabbed these because it has this blue color that I just love. Here, I'll take it out so you guys can see. This one, if you guys don't know, I love this color. That's why I always sit in front of this wall, and that's why that's the color of the wall. But these, I just thought they were a little bit, I don't know, more aesthetically pleasing, a little bit different than just kind of your Roy G. Biv standard rainbow colors. And that kind of goes with what's in the room and stuff like that. And also this gave me, how many different colors is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different colors. Instead of most of the ones I saw were 10 different colors. So it just gave me obviously four more colors for categories, because as we were going through, I had just like fiction picture books in a category by themselves. And I realized I probably need to kind of divvy those up into separate categories also, because I just have like 2 ginormous stacks of picture books, and I probably need to kind of narrow those down some. So that is where we're at. My thought with the stickers is put the sticker obviously on the spine of the book down here, so that obviously when it's up you can see it, and then I will just make a like a laminated sheet that has one sticker on each, and then, you know, next to the sticker it will tell us what that category is for that color, in hopes that all that goes well, and then, you know, it'll be easier for us to organize that way. So that's where we're at. We'll see. I will come back and let you guys know how that ends up going. So now just to help my brain kind of sort through things, now I will take these and put them up on the shelves. And then I'll just kind of go through from there and organize as we go. I will arrange them right now. I will arrange them like tallest to smallest. But I don't know if they'll stay that way. That's fine as long as all the colors stay together. That is what we are aiming for. So that's next. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, friends, it's another day, as you can tell, and this is where we have gotten to. So all of the books that I originally had pulled out have been put into categories. They all have these sticker labels. Y'all, there was 14 different color options. We came up with 14 categories. So highly recommend, I recommend having more. I feel like more categories, the better. But it also could be just because they were there, and so I wanted to keep splitting up categories. But I found that we just have a few books for several different categories outside of nonfiction nature. So that, yeah, I think nonfiction nature actually ended up being our largest category, and then America was next. But anyway, so this is where we have gotten. Now, we are into chapter books. I don't really know with chapter books. My first thought was to put them in baskets next to the category that they belong to, just to kind of help divvy them up. But as you see, I really honestly, I have plenty of space. And then I still have this also. And clearly, as you can tell, we're not really utilizing that. You know, it's not full. So I have plenty of space for books, which means I need more books. It's just a matter of how do I want to put them back. So I'm going to have to do some more rearranging here to kind of get them how I like them. So far, that's been the hardest part, is where do I put them so that they fit, and how can I arrange these where I actually like them and I consider it, you know, aesthetically pleasing to look at, not just random books with stickers on them now, which is what they were before, just without stickers. So a funny thing just happened. I just realized I didn't do all the books. I didn't do any of the books that are up here. And I have like a few random ones here that I don't know what to do with. So here is my dilemma. I don't know how I want to arrange them on the bookshelves. I have to keep some weight on the bottom of the shelves. Obviously, so they don't tip over. The big one is onto the wall, you know, it's like screwed onto the wall, but I still want to try and keep the weight fairly dispersed. And then I had this idea like, oh, I could take these off and put them in here, and then I can use this for something else. So it's like I have space, right? And so it's like, oh, I could do all of these different things, but like, I don't know what to do. And so now it feels so haphazard to just like throw the books back on there, because that's what we had before, were just books thrown up there. But I'm like, they're organized now, like they're all together by category, so why can't I just throw them up there? But then if I put them back how I had them, then I don't have enough, like how it makes sense in my mind, like this category is on this shelf together, this category is on this shelf on this side, you know, so they're separated. I don't have enough bookend. This is the hard part. This is the part they don't tell you about, okay? I'm just gonna keep going and see what I come up with. I have gone through 95% of the chapter books, and I have those now sorted in their own, or in categories that I already have established based off of these books. So now I'm going to, just because I couldn't pick one up, find it on my list, do that sticker, you know, so I needed to organize all of those by category. Now I will go through and add stickers to them. If they are if they're one of my daughter's books, they will go on her shelf up here. If it's more of like a read aloud book, it will go on the shelf down here. And that is where we currently are, but I still have more books. Once I got this accomplished, I'm like, sweet, I'll be done, it'll just take me maybe another hour or so, and then we'll be good. It's been a whole nother, almost a whole nother day. This has been like 3 days I've been doing this. But that's not like 3 full days. But this is wild. Now I'm going to sticker these and get them up on the shelf. This is the process that is the most satisfying, is getting them done, putting them up. Get it done, put them up. So that's where we're at. Hey y'all, it is finally time for the results of organizing the bookshelves. This has been how many days? I don't know. It's been like 3 or 4, 5 days. There's been several days I've been working on this, but I will have you know that is really because they weren't full days, like we still were doing other things around it. So I was just kind of working on this as I could. So I don't know how long it will take you, because it's going to depend on how many books you have, obviously, and it's going to depend on what your home life looks like. How much time do you actually have? How many interruptions are there? How many snacks do we need? All the things. So for me, it took me a couple of days, a few days, but it really wasn't that bad. The hardest part of the whole thing was organizing them back on the shelves a way that I liked. Because, and that's also the part that's not really gonna matter, because when my daughter comes and puts them back, she's just gonna put them back with the color. It's not gonna matter the depth of the spine. So that was really my biggest thing, was I didn't want the width of the book. If it was a smaller book in width, I didn't want it to be kind of lost behind 2 wider books. Does that make sense? Because the way that they're on here, see how this book sticks way out? So right in here is actually this book. But when you're actually here and you're looking at it, you can see the spine of this smaller book, because next to it is another smaller, and it kind of gradually gets bigger. And then as I get to another category, I gradually get smaller again. That was the hardest part, was going through all of that and figuring all of that out. But that was my other problem, was trying to decide how I wanted to arrange the books. Do I want one category alone by itself with kind of a bookend, and then another category kind of on the opposite end of the shelf with its own bookend, really kind of breaking up the categories so that they're alone by themselves. But I quickly realized, we have a lot of books, but I have a lot of space, and I would need a lot of bookends for that. And then it really probably wouldn't work out anyways, because if you can tell, these are a lot taller than these shelves. So there are some books that I have that wouldn't fit in certain places, and I had to do some shifting and moving around. So that was the hardest part for me, outside of just getting started. That is my biggest tip, is if you are wanting to organize your library, take the books off the shelf. Just do it. Just take them off, put them on the floor, and you will quickly realize you are ready to get those books up off the floor, and that will kind of help you get in the groove of organizing. My other big tip is creating categories. But I just kind of racked my brain, came up with a couple. Some of them I used, some of them I didn't use, and I created new ones kind of as I went through the stacks. From there, then I sorted all of my books in. I created those sticky notes that you guys saw, and created my stacks with those sticky notes on top. So I knew this is the nonfiction geography stack. And as I took certain books off of the shelf, I would put them there. So I ended up using all 14 colors of those stickers. and created our little, what do we call this? Kind of our little guide here. And I just did this on Canva, and had it printed and laminated. Obviously these are like the actual stickers. So I printed it, laminated it, double-sided packing tape, and it actually sticks right here. Let's see, can I show you? No, it actually sticks just right here on the side of my desk. That's, next to these bookshelves. So you can kind of just do a quick reference. So I will list out for you the categories that I ended up going with. So we have special authors / series. Now, the perfect example for this was where are they? I got to learn them all. Oh, they're way up top here. So the picture books for Little House in the Big Woods, those all went in there. We've got like some fun Dr. Seuss books. Those all went in that category. Zoe and Sassafras, those went in that category too, but those are chapter books, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So anything like that it's already kind of a collected series that we have, those, I just kind of put those together. And then we have general reference. That's going to be like our almanac, our children's dictionary. I've got like this general knowledge book from Usborne, just again, general reference books. Then fiction, and to help my daughter, I put fiction equals fun, and then nonfiction equals fact. So kind of help her remember, and honestly to help me remember, because I always have to remind myself. So for fiction, that I have character. Now for that, I mean like character traits. Obviously every book that's nonfiction is going to have, or every book that's fiction is going to have some type of character. These are like character building books, character trait books. I have nature, I have fall and Thanksgiving, winter and Christmas, other holidays, I have classics, and then over here I just have general, and that was just a filler. Like anything else that doesn't really fit into these categories, I'm just using it as a general picture book. You could, again, these are just the categories that worked for me. You can divvy those up by, based off of whatever books you have. Then for nonfiction, I have Bible, nature, geography, biography, and America. My daughter was very adamant that we include America in its own category, which we do have a lot of books dedicated to the United States of America. I would have put it in with geography. She said no, they need their own. So they got their own. So that is what our categories look like. Now back to chapter books. I couldn't decide what was the best way, and I honestly asked my daughter. I kind of went through the couple of options that I was thinking with her, and we both agreed that the best thing to do, the best way to go about it all, was to actually put the chapter books in the same categories as these are. That is what ended up making the most sense, and I'm glad that I did it that way. And we have the space to do that. So these two shelves here are chapter books. Everything else is what you would consider a picture book, because that's what we're in. My daughter is almost 7, so we have lots of picture books, and we're just starting our collection of chapter books. Now the top shelf here, those are going to be all of my daughter's chapter books. Ones that she can easily pick off the shelf and read alone. And then the ones on the second shelf are more of the read aloud books, or books maybe that she would read a little bit later, like, a few years from now. So that's how we divvied those up. And then again, still within the same categories. That worked out fantastic. There's plenty here. You can see I do have a couple over here. And that is just because I just didn't have enough space, and eventually I will likely have to use these to include more books anyway. So I just went ahead and stuck those in there. Those are classics that we likely won't read for a little bit longer, but still totally fine. I just needed to stick them there. So that's how that turned out. I think it worked really, really well. Once I got them all on the shelves, and sorted them out. Again, that was the hardest part. Then I was really glad that we went through it. We've actually already utilized this. My daughter has come in and said, this is what kind of book I want to read. And she has gone to the chart and figured out what it is that she wants to read. And she'll pull a book and then it goes back. Yeah, so I will just quickly kind of skim over it so you guys can see the beauty that is now a color coordinated organized library. And that'll do it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.